Looks like we'll all be getting that fresh start we need.
Yeah, well, that's a funny way to describe a stay at Her Majesty's pleasure. Because that's where you'll be staying as soon as my mum testifies against you.
Your mother's dead, and no one has the faintest idea where that Elaine woman is.
Except now the police are looking for her. Have you not heard? So it looks like we'll both be star witnesses at Yasmeen's trial. Now jog on before I do something I might regret.
I suppose it was only a matter of time before you turned your back on me. Because that's what you do, isn't it? You abandoned your family all those years ago. You even let Faye abandon your own granddaughter. What kind of man does that?
I won't warn you again.
Tim, ignore him.
The moment I held you in my arms, I could see he'd never amount to anything special. But I never thought you'd be such a flake.
I know it sounds stupid, but there's a window outside in the corridor. And when I looked out, I thought I saw him there.
Really? You sure? Do you want me to tell the police?
No. No, I'm not sure. If anything, I'm sure it wasn't him. I looked back and he'd gone. He was probably a caretaker or something.
Nah, he wouldn't do that. He doesn't know that you're here.
I know. I know. It sounds mad. Says the woman in the psyche ward. I'm probably just seeing things, but it is the sort of thing he does.
Yeah.
He spies on you.
I know he does. But not anymore. We're gonna keep you safe, Mum. Promise you. I hate what he's done. I hate that he's my dad. And that he's part of me.
No. That's what he does as well. He makes you feel like it's your fault. He makes you feel worthless. He makes you hate yourself.
Which is why we need to stop him.
Why don't you come to this meeting with me? It might take your mind off things.
Hang on. That's Elaine. Hi, love, you all right? Hey, what's wrong?
I can't do it. I'm sorry. I thought I could, but I can't.
All right. Just take some deep breaths. That's it. Just calm down. What happened?
No, nothing's happened. Nothing. Everything's the same. So please don't ask me again. I'm sorry, Tim. I can't.
Mum. She's said that she can't do it and hung up on me.
Well, why has she changed her mind?
Well, she's in a bad way, isn't she? She said today that she thought she saw me dad watching her.
Poor thing.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I know she's paranoid, but what she's not, what she really did see him.
Well, Jeff is a lot of things, but he's not stupid. He won't risk that.
Oh, I don't know.
Surely not.
Well, whatever the reason, she said that she's not going to give evidence. That means I've let Yasmeen down again. Oh, come on.
Could you talk us through the events of that day, the day of the alleged attack?
Sally, our daughter-in-law, had invited us to the local bistro opening. Jeff wasn't happy with what I was wearing. So he made me put on this dress. When we got back from the pub, he was in a bad mood. So he locked me in the house while he went and got some fish and chips. He knew I was starving. I hadn't eaten all day, but he just got some for himself to punish me.
And what happened next?
He got the bread knife and cut himself some bread. Then...
Take your time.
Then he started to make fun of me in the dress. That was when he told me he hadn't bought it for me, he'd bought it for another woman. I presume one of his escorts.
And how did you react to that?
I wasn't angry. I'd already guessed he'd used an escort, even though he tried to deny it. I was just upset that things had come to this. I took his arm. I tried to plead with him, but he stepped back, and I lost my balance, and I fell. So did his dinner, which of course made him even angrier. So I started to pick everything up.
And what did your husband do meanwhile?
He stood there shouting at me, telling me I was pathetic. I was like a dog. Then he started to throw chips at me and telling me to fetch. He got more and more angry. He said it was not just one escort, it was lots. And that I had driven him to it.
And where was the bread knife at this point?
He was holding it.
And where were you both?
By this time, I was standing with my back against the worktop. He was facing me, quite close.
So would it have been possible for you to get away from him?
No, I would have had to have gone past him. And I was scared of the knife.
So what happened next?
He was shouting at me. He said I made his skin crawl. He couldn't bear being married to me. Then he suddenly lunged at me with the knife. I was terrified. I thought, this is it, he's going to stab me. He said, I should kill you, do the world a favor, something like that. And that is when I grabbed the nearest thing, the wine bottle, and I swung it at him. He was still standing there staring at me. And I panicked. Because I thought, this is it. He's going to be really mad now, and he's going to stab me. And that is when I must have struck out at him again. I don't remember. I just remember him falling, and the blood, and when I looked, there was a broken wine bottle in my hand.
Might I also question why, when you didn't know her from Adam, you chose to go and visit Yasmeen Metcalfe in prison earlier this year?
Well,
Are you still not over him?
Jeff.
Maybe you're still furious about your embittered breakup, all these years later, that you track down his next alleged victim and seek her out.
Well, at least you used the word victim.
And together you cook up a little plan to discredit your ex?
You know, even though you're a woman, you're very like him. Putting words into my mouth. Telling me how I behave and how I feel. Well, like him, you're wrong. I believe that Yasmeen was fearing for her life on the night of the attack. Just as I've spent a lifetime living in fear of that man. But I'm not afraid anymore. So please, stop putting words into my mouth. We concocted nothing. We've simply told our truths. There's really nothing more to be said.